You a bad shawty, yeah. Please don't waste my time. So on my neck, I think you're drinking too much wine. Bad, call me up. She wanna be mine. Okay, like bad, pulling up. Please don't waste my time.
I don't know why this interested me, bro.
This is Jeremy Christian, who was arrested for the murder of 2 men on a Max light rail train in Portland, Oregon. In May 2017, Christian stabbed and killed 53-year-old retired Army officer Ricky John Best and 23-year-old Taliesin Mirdan Namkai Mecha. He also stabbed 21-year-old Micah Fletcher.
In the neck?
He survived. What happened?
In the neck.
Happens next is the moment where it all began. Christian was captured on tape screaming anti-Muslim and racist slurs at 2 black teenagers. His behavior didn't sit well with several passengers. They confronted him and barred him from the frightened teenagers who had moved to the back of the train.
Which one is him? Him? I don't want to see a knife, bro.
Further attempts to de-escalate the situation resulted in Christian brandishing a knife, threatening to
Oh my God, he got by the that Spider-Man t-shirt. Yes, sir. Is that the survive? I think Spider-Man t-shirt was the one who survived.
Victims, but it doesn't end there. Here is Christian leaving the scene. After his 12 seconds of madness, Christian fled the train at the next transit center. Several passengers followed him as they called 911. Eventually, the police arrived and he was arrested, boasting about how he killed 2 people. But killing 2 people in broad daylight isn't enough. It's what happened in court that left the judge and jury in disbelief. He was charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Not only did he show no remorse for his—
That's a spit bag over— what was that for, though? Why did he have a bag over his head? What the hell is this about? I guess he couldn't shut up.
Actions. He threatened to kill one of the relatives of a victim in court. During the trial, one of the victim's relatives read a victim's impact statement. This is Christian's response to the statement.
Bro, don't piss me. Bro, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Bro, first of all, this went to jail as a lunatic. He asked for his hair to get cut like this, bro. Look at how he cut his hair. Bro, he doesn't even look like the man he was when he went in. Bro, this had a mullet. What the did he get on his head? It's so he don't spit on. Ew.
The statement.
What the?
Christian was eventually sentenced to consecutive life terms. During the trial, evidence of his criminal past came to light.
Bro, dude, that racist don't make sense to me. It literally don't make sense to me, bro. What do you mean you f***ed up my whole city? You didn't even know her. He didn't know her. What do you mean you f***ed up my whole city? You would have never seen her. You didn't know she existed. And even if you knew she existed, she would have never been a factor to your life. I don't get who's that racist.
It appeared that Christian had assaulted a woman and shouted racial slurs on another train the day before the murders.
Oh, it's like we got a Christian or Muslim bus driver, I'll stab you too.
He was a self-described white nationalist and a far-right extremist. The judge added 25 years to his 2 life sentences with these other charges. However disrespectful Christian was not as disrespectful as Randall Moore.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Treesan's death.
We take you to Polk County courtroom where Randall Moore is facing trial for the murder of his ex-wife, Therese Ann Marie.
Hold on. Hopefully we don't see a trend in this video because these first 2 is looking like a trend.
Lynch. In November 2011, Moore kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and killed Lynch. It all began when Lynch left Moore and filed a protective order against him. But Moore wasn't a man that let go easily. He kidnapped Lynch and set up a hostage situation. This is Officer Todd Rowland, who shot Moore as he responded to the cries from the apartment. This was moments after Moore shot Officer Rowland. Fortunately, he survived the shooting. In a phone call with 911, Moore explains why he murdered his wife.
You want me to tell you something?
Well, you can tell me whatever you want.
I didn't want to do any of this.
What?
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
You wanted to see your son, so you murdered the mother. There's just a lot of ways you could actually go about a way of getting your son, getting some sun time, and murdering the mother, bro. I don't think that's the way you need to go to do that.
Eventually, the police were able to breach the house and arrest him. Moore nodded when Judge Joel Novak confirmed that he had been found guilty on all charges.
court doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
He
The
basically
judge
saying he would
allowed
give
the
you the
victim's
death
family
penalty.
to read their victim impact statement. What happens next is one of the most disrespectful moments that have ever happened in a court of law.
Don't piss me
As
off.
Lynch's mother took to the stand and read a
Please don't piss me
sorrowful
off.
statement.
Please don't
But
piss me
Moore
off.
got in a few words.
Please don't piss me
Listen
off.
as Moore interrupts Lynch's
Please
mother's
don't piss
victim
me off.
impact statement.
He hated you. You're a loser.
But Moore wasn't done. When he was allowed to address the court, he showed no remorse for his crimes.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Tracy Ann's death.
He told the victims' families so. Moore also tried to justify his crimes. The only semblance of an apology from him was to Officer Todd, whom he shot.
Did they family, bro? The only person you say sorry to is a police officer, bro. They family, face to face, bro. How y'all feel about lawyers, bro? Like that's they bag and whatever. Like you have to, what type of mindset do you even have to be into, like to lawyer these up? These two lawyering up a who sexually assaulted and then killed somebody right after and is proud of it. What type of mentality do you gotta be to sit there next to and defend him, bro? How? I'm a lawyer. I'm saying, hey, you right, bro. Listen, you right, judge. Get a death penalty.
Okay, 303 Adam has been hit. Officer down.
It's like the
However,
Hippocratic Oath that
Judge
just has to
Novak
be
had
done.
the last word.
It
He
has to.
berated Moore for his evil behavior and expressed shock at such a level of heartlessness.
The court doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
In the end, Moore was sentenced to 3 life sentences for the murder of Lynch,
Bro, he was proud about it too. That is insane.
25 years for shooting
I
police
know
officer
Duke would have an
Rowland.
answer, LeBus.
That is so many years to spend behind bars. But is it as bad as life sentences without the possibility of a parole? That was the case of Camilla Gamet, her 38-year-old boyfriend, Marcel Hill. The couple lived together in Michigan, and in May 2018, Gamet attacked her boyfriend in a rage. She smashed the entire apartment and used several items as weapons. The court heard that when the police arrived following calls from the neighbors, Hill was dead and Gamet was covered in blood. They recovered a bloody frying pan, a knife covered in blood, and a smashed floor lamp. Prosecutors said that she stabbed her boyfriend multiple times with a knife.
We have no choice but to send her where she will also die.
But Camille wasn't finished there.
What the-
Wait till you see how she defended
Wait, lawyers can say that? Lawyers can say that? What the
her actions in the courtroom. During the trial, Gamet claimed that she thought that her boyfriend was an assailant or intruder, and that she stabbed him in self-defense. The defendant's story didn't stand up to scrutiny because she would have recognized the boy.
Bro, she tried to say, bro, it was broad daylight. She tried to say, I thought my boyfriend was an intruder. Your boyfriend that you see every day?
Didn't stand up to scrutiny because she would have recognized the boyfriend or his voice. Gamet's version of the event could have convinced the judge if Hill had sustained 1 or 2 stab wounds. However, the evidence presented in court showed that Gamet stabbed Hill 12 times and hit him continuously with a frying pan.
You stab, you stab, you stab, you stab, you stab until he was dead.
Still, she insisted that it was all
Wait, hold on. What the? I didn't know the courtroom could get pressure like this. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, the only cases I've ever seen is the celebrity ones where they be streamed and Judge Judy. I didn't know they could get pressure like this. I didn't know they could talk to him like this. Like he like real life pressing her.
all in self-defense, and that she was a victim of their lies.
Not trying to
Here's
see no
Gamet
crying.
to her story.
Basically, a trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth.
Eric Mays, no, I don't know him.
Her claims
What's up,
did
JJ?
not impress Judge John McBain. Diana Banks, a member of Hill's family, was called by the court to deliver a victim's impact statement. What Gamet did as her victim's own mother took to the stand would send chills down your spine. As Hill's aunt read the
Chills down
statement,
our spine.
Gamet showed no remorse, rolled her eyes, and even smiled. When the aunt was done, Gamet reacted. This time, Judge McBain wasn't
that
so
didn't
nice and
send
threatened to
chills
tape
down
her
our
mouth
spine,
as she
bro.
continued interrupting the woman.
You're gonna shut your mouth or I'm gonna have some duct tape put on.
Well, he attacked
All right, we'll wait here for a moment till we can get her quiet.
The threat didn't stop
Bro,
Gamet.
why they
In
be
the
pressing?
end, court officers could not find duct tape, and Aunt Diana was able
What the? Wait, he was being serious? Bro, that nigga was being dead about the duct tape? Bro, he was actually about to duct tape her mouth?
Duct tape put on.
Well, he attacked
All right, we'll wait here for a moment till we can get her quiet.
The threat didn't
Bro, you can do this? Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I feel like court cases could get toxic, bro. I feel like this could be some good content.
Stop Gamet. In the end, court officers could not find duct tape, and
Oh,
Aunt
they was
Diana
actually
was
about to
able to
duct tape
finish her
her mouth.
statement. But Gamet's behavior has already angered the prosecutor. Before she was handed her sentence,
What is she, a mouth
Judge
breather?
McBain told her what he thought about her and the crime she committed.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a
Oh my-
death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
The court
Bro, you can say that? Bro, I thought the judge had to be neutral. See, I only be watching the celebrity ones where they keep that shit classy and they make sure they don't do too much on the internet. A non-judgmental based decision. This just said, I hope you die and I will put you in that chair if I could. Yeah, I know she killed someone, but I didn't know he could say that.
The court considered her
facts.
history of domestic
That's
abuse,
facts.
and Gamet was sentenced to life imprisonment without any
Damn.
possibility of parole. It only gets more disrespectful from here, and also with a similar sentence, we have Keith Allen Ferguson. This is 40-year-old Keith Allen Ferguson, who police said killed his wife, Tiffany Ferguson, and father-in-law, James Weber, in November 2014.
Why was
Ferguson,
that
who is
mouth
from
open in the pit,
Kalkaska
bro?
County, Michigan, is charged with 12 felony counts, which included first and second-degree murders and kidnapping. 42-year-old Tiffany Ferguson has moved to end her 17 years of marriage with Keith Ferguson. During an argument about
Don't
the
tell me he
divorce,
killed his
Keith
wife, bro.
assaulted Tiffany, shot and killed her as their 4 kids watched. Unmoved,
In
Keith
front
drove the
of your
kids to Tiffany's
kids?
parents' house, where he fatally shot Tiffany's father. After murdering his father-in-law, Keith ran to a neighboring house, took the owner, a 59-year-old woman, hostage, and barricaded himself inside. The
Nigga, in front
situation
your
lasted for
kids?
7 hours before Keith surrendered and released her. When Keith went to court, he showed he was anything but remorseful for his actions. During his trial,
front of your
Ferguson
kids?
appeared bored by the whole court process. He frequently cursed the judge, court officials, and everyone present.
Scan me? I'm not doing this in front of these stupid cameras, you inbreds.
Before the judge delivered his sentence, Tiffany's best friend, Carla Seating, read the victim's impact statement. She noted that Tiffany had been living in fear of Keith and that she knew that Keith was trouble. Here, Keith revealed that he had no desire to see or communicate with his kids again.
All right? Because of the respect and safety of my children, I'm not saying nothing because they're gonna see this. They don't need to hear that.
Prompting Judge George Mertz
This now trying to get some morality. He's saying my kids don't need to hear that. Like he did not just murder their mother in front of their faces. What do you mean they don't? You just murdered their mother in front of them. Then this nigga say they don't need to see or hear this. Should we bring stoning back? Should we bring the guillotine back?
George Mertz to question his sanity. As part of a plea deal, Keith pleaded guilty to the
now
murders
you-
of his
now
wife
you
and
sad,
father-in-law,
bruh.
and the other 10
Now
charges
you
were
crying?
dropped. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without the chance of parole.
I'll see y'all in hell.
Just when you think humans cannot get any more humane, we meet one of the most malicious cases ever, Ronnie O'Neal III.
Oh, that nigga did not.
This is 29-year-old Ronnie O'Neal III. Ronnie is in court for the double murder of his 9-year-old daughter, Ron Nevea O'Neal, and 33-year-old girlfriend, Kenyatta Barron, in Riverview, Florida. On the evening of March 18th, 2018, Ronnie fatally shot Barron and struck his daughter multiple times with an axe until she was no longer with us.
Bro,
outside.
your daughter?
I just saw my dad chase him, hit them with an axe. And
Bro,
he
your
ran up
daughter?
the wall, I followed him. He put me on the ground, and then he had his foot on top. I was laying my stomach, he had his foot on top of me.
He stabbed Ronnie O'Neal IV, his 8-year-old son, and critically wounded him. On the night of the murder, Barron called 911 screaming before suddenly hanging up. Less than 10 minutes later, Ronnie called 911, claiming to be attacked by white demons, and accused Barron of trying to kill him. He then gave his home address, but Ronnie didn't stop here. Believing they were all dead, Ronnie poured gasoline into the house and set it on fire. Fortunately, his son was able to escape with burns and stab wounds. Detective Mike Blair.
Bro, his son made it out at 8 years old with critical stab wounds and a burning house. This nigga is him. Critical stab wounds and this made it out of burning house, bro.
Stab wounds. Detective Mike Blair attended to him and ensured he was taken to the hospital. Luckily, he survived. After setting the house on fire,
He's smiling,
Ronnie
bro.
fled. but the police were able to catch up with him, and he was arrested. If you thought someone that did such heinous crimes would try to act pleasant in front of a judge and jury who have his future in his hands, let this change your mind. Ronnie's trial began in 2021. He insisted on representing himself and was psychologically cleared to serve as his attorney.
Don't piss me off.
What happens next is hard to hear. During the trial, Ronnie cross-examined his son, who had fully recovered from the stab wounds and burns Ronnie inflicted on him, and is testifying as a witness for the prosecution.
I hurt you that night of this incident?
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad, bro.
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
He stabbed me.
His son told the court the events surrounding the night of the tragedy.
This is his father,
However,
bro.
Ronnie claimed that his son had lied about the events and insisted that the recording the prosecution submitted as evidence was forged. Initially, Ronnie claimed that he was acting in self-defense and filed motions, but the judge rejected it. Ronnie was found guilty of 7 charges against him, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of aggravated child abuse, and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. But he didn't put it to rest then. After his sentencing, Ronnie admitted that he wasn't sorry for his crimes.
I'm not sorry for something I did do, and I'm not sorry.
Is the nigga clinically insane?
Before Ronnie was sentenced, Judge Michelle Cisco, who has been in the judicial sector for almost 20 years, said this.
This is the worst case I've ever seen as far as the facts go.
Ronnie was given 3 life sentences without the chance of parole.
Yo, please press that, bro. I did not know courtrooms could get devious.